Good afternoon, it's Lindsay. It's Friday, April 11th, 2025, and so I'm going to talk more about organized gang stalking, community-based harassment, and exploitation of a targeted individual. As I'm doing this video, the neighbors are noise campaign because they like to do that. Anytime I do a video, they start to try to distract. Somebody tries to interfere. But anyway, here goes. So I don't give a fuck. I've been doing this for long enough to not let it get to me. But so this morning I went to see they're making noises to try to, this is this fucking stupid kind of shit because they're monitoring everything I do. You see, they just sit out there in chairs in the driveway and basically like, what are you, a fucking what do you call it, fucking private security guard or something? This is bullshit. But it's whatever. I just know that I'm being watched. Let me just put it this way: I know that I'm being monitored in my own home, and it's illegal, and I don't like that. It's an encroachment and intrusion on my privacy rights. But because you can feel when you're being monitored with whatever. It's, I can pick up on this stuff because I have intuition. But so this morning I went to the gym. I went to the gym at it's called Fitness Connection on what is it? South Park Mall, right? This is the second day I tried it out because they kept sending me these emails to try to get me to join. And I was like, well, let me do I'd like to try it. And by the way, a couple years ago, I did go on a tour of that gym. I remember very clearly to check it out because my friend, this person I know, had told me about it, and he told me it was okay, pretty decent. So I went to go check it out a couple years ago, got a tour of the place, but I did not join it. I didn't even try it out. I just went for a tour of it, like to see what it was all about. And then so over the years I thought about it because I'm like, it's not that far away, but it's not that close, but it's not in the best location necessarily because there's a lot of crime, and well, that's everywhere for that matter. But in that particular location, there's a lot of traffic because it's in a mall, a shopping center, and it's just chaos, lots of traffic is, in that parking center. It's in a shopping mall called South Park Mall, I think is the name of it. It's on like Southwest Military and what is it, like I-30 35 South, 37 South, whatever, as if you're heading to Laredo, I guess. So that's like 35 South, I think. Yeah, anyway, it's right off, but nonetheless, it's one of these gyms that at first, when they first opened, it was like $10 a month, I think. And of course, now, and I was reading more about this gym because I didn't know much about it. I just, I was like, I want to find out where was the gym founded, what year, and all that. And I was reading about it, and I thought for some reason it was from Houston. I thought that the original founders were from Houston, or that it started in Houston, but I was wrong. Apparently, from what I read online, it opened in 1998 in Austin, Texas. That's when it first opened, and I didn't know that. So it's been around for a while, but they didn't have any locations here in San Antonio until a couple years ago. And I don't think they had, because I'm very familiar with all the gyms in San Antonio. I'm familiar with Planet Fitness, now Fitness Connection, this place called True Fit, Gold's Gym. What else? Planet Fitness, Fitness Connection, Gold's Gym. I don't know about, I have never been to Crunch Fitness, whatever. But there's another one that I haven't been to called, it's just called, what is it? Fitness Connection? I forget. I can't remember. There's this one that I always forget the name of, but it's like a really smaller gym where you I think it's like $50 a month, but it's very small, and you can have access to it 24 hours a day. They had one on McCullough Street here in San Antonio. I think, what's it called? Fitness Direct? No. It's something, I forget. I'm sorry. It's the one I can't, for whatever reason. I know it has fitness in the word, but it's not Fitness Connection. I don't know, but I thought I haven't been there before either. And they have I know that they have one on McCullough in that whatever that area is, St. Mary, Alamo Heights area. Not Alamo Heights. It's over there off of 281 North, more or less. So it's kind of that area of town. In a nice, decent part of town. It's actually close to, I've been to that part of town before. I've seen the gym before. It's close to a dentist that I've been to. That I think they moved locations. But anyway, so I haven't been there. That's the only one I haven't been to, as well as Crunch Fitness and something. But anyway, I've tried them all. And so I tried this Fitness Connection thing for a bit. And the first day, okay, first of all, they kept pressuring me to like come in and, we're having a special sign up. So, okay, I'm like, okay, fine. Online, I signed up, right? They're having a promotion where supposedly I was supposed to pay nothing down and then $20 a month. And I'm like, well, okay, that's not too bad. You can pay $20 a month and you can go to one location. So I signed up online and I got my little app thing in order to check in. The first day I had to download the app so I could scan the barcode, which that's the first time I don't download apps for anything on my phone like gyms or whatever, and that's the first time that was the first time that I've ever done that with the barcode like that you download. I've never done that before. I'm used to using a key thing where you check in. And so I did that. I checked in and everything, and they're just like, she was nice enough, that girl from that day. That was the day before yesterday, I think it was, a couple days ago. And she was, 2 days ago. And she was nice enough, but she didn't, they seem a little bit, a lot of these people that work at gyms, they're very, they almost seem like they're right out of high school, or maybe they're very young. And I'm not saying that that's bad, but I'm just saying sometimes it's like it's their first job or something, or they don't seem very professional. They don't seem very, they're not very, it's hard to explain. Sometimes they don't seem like they know what they're doing, I guess. Like they seem like they're brand new at the job. They're kind of confused. And I can understand that. I've worked at a gym before. When I actually worked in Houston for a while at 24 Hour Fitness, actually right after I had broken my hip around 2013. That's when I broke my hip, and I started when I was still in recovery, and I couldn't do anything much, but I was still not, just had major surgery on my right hip. But I got a job at the gym at 24 Hour Fitness on off of the what was it, I-10 West over there in the Spring Branch area, and I worked there. I had to get there at like 5 in the morning or 4 in the morning to open the place up. And I'm such a fucking early riser sometimes that I would get there even earlier than that. But I had the key and I had to open it up and do everything, prepare. And that was weird because I had never had, it's like, why that, I remember he was like a Middle Eastern man who owned it or was a manager. I can't remember his name, but he was Middle Eastern. I think he was Iranian or Pakistani or something like that. And it's like they gave me, what was aggravating about that is that I was given all this responsibility for somebody who was new to the job, getting paid like minimum wage, $10 an hour or something, $11 an hour at the most. Yet I was getting all these responsibilities. He was putting all this responsibility on me, and I was still healing from a major surgery and whatnot. And I was like, that's kind of weird that they're putting all this pressure on me to have all that big responsibility for a gym, 24-hour fitness gym. I had never, I've had plenty of retail jobs and other jobs, throughout my life, but never the point where they're giving me a key to open up the place early in the morning. I was like, okay. And I did okay. I lasted there for a while, and I ended up quitting that job. I did not get fired. I ended up quitting that job. It was just too much. I just didn't like the hours. I didn't like the way I was being, expected too much out of me, and I ended up just quitting. I remember I just was like, I don't like this. I don't want to work here. I just didn't want to work there. It's one thing to go to the gym, and it's another thing to work at a gym. And the more experience I have over my life with going to gyms, being a member of different gyms, I realize I would never want to fucking work at one. Maybe own one, but not have to be there all the time, because I don't like I wouldn't want to be. It's very it's an environment that's very competitive. There's things about gyms that there's so much, like, it's like a drama soap opera crap with all the employees and all the personal trainers and stuff. It's just, I don't want to get involved with all that shit. So I can go to the gym, but I don't want to get involved with all that gossip and all that crap that goes on in corporate settings, gyms, retail centers, which I've worked in plenty of those. Same fucking thing. I just can't deal with that shit. I don't like it. I've been around it enough to know that I hate it. So I work best independently. I like to work by myself, independently, doing what I like to do, which is research and things that I've been doing for a long time that don't have to do with working in a corporate type environment or around a bunch of people. I just can't do it. Some people can, and some people can't. Some people are cut out for those kinds of jobs, and other people are not. I'm not a social person. I'm not outgoing. I know how to be cordial. I know how to be professional, but I can't be in those kinds of situations where you're forced to put on a front to try to sell a product. I can't do it. I fail at those jobs miserably. I either get fired from those kinds of jobs, or I end up having to quit. And that's how, you can see my fucking resume is filled with those kinds of fucking jobs that are just not my thing. Can't do it. Can't do it, won't do it. Been there, done that. But anyway, back to this gym thing. So this gym, this place called Fitness Connection over there at South Park Mall. So the first day I went there, it was okay. I was like, I want to go to a gym. I want to stay in the ladies' exercise area, okay? I knew that I wanted to just be in an area that's just women. Not because I just don't want to, I just want to, if it were up to me, I'd want to be in an area alone by myself, but in a little small, not big room with not so much fucking bright light, no fucking TVs if it were up to me, right? But anyway, I'm in that area with the women, and it was fine. That first day, no problem. I can remember vividly, I got on a treadmill that was the second one from the far right of the stair thing, and this woman, when I first got on that treadmill, within 2 minutes, a woman, or was she already there before I got there? She came after me. I was there first. She wasn't there. Then a few minutes later, this woman gets there, and she, like about 10 minutes later, and she was probably like in her, I want to say, she probably was in her 50s or 60s, I don't know. A nice woman. She kind of looked like I could feel that she felt like she was out of place. I could pick up on her vibes that she was out of place. And what I noticed about her, she was like a light kind of skinned, maybe Hispanic, maybe European woman. I don't know. She was different. She seemed very much of an observer or something, so very quiet, observation, very observant. But I picked up good vibes from her. I'm just saying I could feel her energies. And I noticed that she put one of those towels, because I always bring a towel, one of these hand towels with me, just because I've been doing that for years and years and years, and it's a custom. I'm used to doing that, a regimen. And she had one exactly like mine, except a different color. This one that I bought at Walmart, I have one that's like a light bluish kind of turquoise, and she had one that was like a purplish color, but the same pattern on the towel. I noticed it's this, and I know because I can even show. I think it's in the washer. I think I'm washing that towel right now. But she had that same towel, and I didn't bring it with me that day. I didn't bring that one that I have. I had a different one, but I was like, that's interesting because it's the same pattern. But hey, it's common. Walmart, it's whatever, you get it at Walmart for $3, so I'm sure a lot of people have those. But I noticed that, and I noticed that she, I just noticed she looked like a woman who probably speaks a foreign language. I was suspecting she looks like she definitely was bilingual or something, and maybe somebody she looked to be very intelligent, very smart lady, very perceptive is what I got from her. And I could tell that I was in it. Of course, I listen to a lot of different kinds of music, and I listen to music in different languages because I love music. And I listen to a lot of European music from Europe, music from mostly Europe, actually. And I was listening to this Russian music that I really like, and she was kind of like, I could tell that she could almost hear music is obviously music is, you can hear probably through my fucking headphones, but I think she had on some earbuds or something, if I'm not mistaken. But it's almost like she could hear the music, and she was kind of like, I don't know. And then I noticed she got on another machine where she was, and still looking. She's not a gang stalker, but she was clearly keeping tabs on me. Okay, I could see that she was there to keep tabs on me. Like everywhere I go, when I first start out going to a place, there's always somebody who they plant to monitor me, albeit very subtle. I can tell. It's just obvious. And so, and then she was she was trying to act like she wasn't looking at me, but she was clearly watching me over at one of these machines, some kind of machine where you sit down and do some weight stuff. And she was just, and I can remember she was just like, it's almost like she was listening to the music that I was listening to. It felt like that because she was kind of had this look on her face like she liked it, like she liked that music, and she sort of looked like she was sort of off in a dream state or something, like a hypnotic state. It was weird. And so that happened the first day I went there. And then I ended up, I've been there 3 times, actually. I've been there a total of 3 times already. 3 times. Today was the 3rd day I went there. So every time I just pick up on all the shit going on. I notice all the little things, and so that happened. And then, but nonetheless, like I'll talk about what they did today, because today, this is all tied in with this crap, with what's happened with this narcissist and this asshole control freak who I've been exposing on my videos and talking about his bullshit and how whatever, and how he's, anyway, I don't even want to fucking talk about him, forget it. But I believe that this is all part of a smear campaign. Still, I can tell these things at gyms when they get flying monkey people that a narcissistic person sends to places to harass and monitor and terrorize people. That's part of the gang stalking, because these programs, these government-run programs, are run by the Fusion Center. They're run by your local law enforcement. They're run by other people in the community that, vigilante people that are, trying to play the role of a police officer, but they're not. They think they are, or maybe they're snitches. This is the kind of stuff they do to people in a gym, in any kind of community where there's a public place where there's other people. Because if there's any kind of something that they've been told about you, or you're somebody who's under some kind of investigation or whatever the fuck it is, like in my case, a targeted individual, which I am, they'll get anybody and everybody to get. It can be children, it can be elderly, adults, anybody and everybody participates in these fucking community watch bullshit programs. That much I can assure you of. And like I said, it doesn't matter whatever jurisdiction you're in, they have, they send them out wherever you go. They target you. They probably put a GPS on your car. They monitor your phone. They monitor your computer, so they know They use all this predictive programming, behavior modification shit to try to figure out where you're going to go. But with me, it's like they already know that I have patterns of going to the gym. It's just, you can fuck with them and try to get them to figure out what fucking gym you're going to go to, or just throw them off track and shit, which really pisses them off if you're unpredictable. Because they expect that you're supposed to follow orders and be a little mind control slave who's going to be like a robot, a subservient little slave to their fucking stupid government shit system, which I dropped out of that shit already. And yeah, I cuss a lot, but you know what? I don't care. I'm getting my point across because they target me no matter what I do. It's community-based shaming. It's as if they're using some kind of 12-step cult to harass people who are individuals. And I know I'm not the only person who's been through this, but they target people if you're just different. If you're just different. All you have to do is just be somebody who's a little bit different and not going along with the herd mentality, and they'll target you. Because they don't like people society doesn't like people who stand up for themselves. Society has a history of not liking dissidents. They use political, punitive psychiatry and whatnot to target dissidents, of which I'm all too familiar with all that as well. So anytime you're an outspoken person about the government, about your rights, about human rights, about any activism thing, punitive psychiatry, medical COINTELPRO, the FBI, the CIA, the fucking gang stalking, the satellite surveillance shit, anything like that, they're going to fuck around with you because they don't want you to expose what they do. They don't want you, the civilian, to expose the fucking crimes that these people are doing to anybody and everybody on a daily basis by abusing their authority on innocent people. And yes, mostly women are the ones who they target. Mostly it's women who are single, divorced, alone, live alone, no family. Those are the people they love to target because they want to control you. It's all about control and power and domineering people who they don't want. Because it's not so much about they don't really care so much about your past. They know all about your past. It's more about what they're afraid that you might be capable of doing, right? It's about this person is a walking time bomb because they know too much and we don't know what they're going to do. We don't know who they're going to influence. And so therefore, they have to keep these tabs on people, such as myself, because of the fact that certain people have an ability to influence others by using your voice. If you are able to do that, then you are a threat to their establishment, i.e. government hierarchy, because it's a hierarchy, right? It's the fucking Freemasonic bullshit Canaanite court system, the Freemasons, the Jesuits. It's all connected, okay? The Jesuits and the Freemasons are the same thing. It's all in order of the fucking Blue Lodge police officers, the judges, the sheriffs, the court, all that. It's all the Eastern Star women who are involved with the Freemasons, and then there's the Jesuits, but they're all in bed together, if you know what I mean, right? It's all this whole cult thing where if you're not a member of one of their secret societies, but you have maybe some family member who are or were in the military or Freemasons or something like this, you're going to be a target. It's called generational abuse. You're going to be a target no matter what, just from fucking being alive. Okay? They'll target. They've been doing this shit to me since the day I can remember. This targeting crap of all this shit. But back then, they didn't have the technology. We live in a very narcissistic society where everybody wants to get in your fucking business, know everything about you, and then expose you or exploit you for all your weaknesses because they want to have control. And it's mostly, like I said, it's mostly about wanting to control women who are brave enough to fucking divorce a man or call him out for his fucking sexual abuse or shit like that. Then you're really an enemy combatant to their system. Or if you talk about the fucking medical COINTELPRO, all this bullshit, if you're somebody who doesn't believe in allopathic medicine, if you don't like fucking own a TV and you don't give a fucking shit about the news, the stupid news or the stupid political system or the fucking entertainment industry. Ooh, what's wrong with you? You don't like the movie industry? You don't like our movies? Ooh. Or mainstream music? Anything that you don't like? Oh, then they'll throw it in your path as much as they can, right? You don't like kids, they're gonna fucking bombard you with children every day. You don't like country music, they're gonna make sure that everywhere you go they blast country music. It's always controlled opposition to fucking fuck with you, to mess with your mind, because they don't want you to be an individual. And, people like that, it just shows that they have a lot of anger and insecurities that they project onto other people because they're too chicken shit to step out of the fucking matrix that they're in. It's the way I see it. But today, let me talk about what they did today at this gym. And I'm already like, this place fucking, it's like, oh my God, it's a huge gym. It's huge, okay? Yes, it's very clean. It's nice. The equipment is nice. Don't get me wrong, but there's a few things that I noticed that it smells really bad in the ladies' bathroom and locker room. It smells horrible odor throughout the whole locker room. It smells really bad. They don't have any paper towels in there. It's like they have the hand dryers after you wash your hands, but they don't have any towels, like those little paper towels, which is pretty annoying because, I prefer to. And then I can go, there's just a lot of weird. So as soon as I get there this morning, I go into the ladies' locker room to use the restroom, and there's a song. I go in there to go to the bathroom, right, and then I'm walking in to towards the ladies' exercise area, and the song it's a song that I was like, oh my God, they're playing this song, and I don't like this song. I don't listen to this kind of music. The Gin Blossoms, Jealousy, okay? Okay. In other words, you see, it's like they're trying to target me by making me feel jealous because of a fucking conversation that I had yesterday. I think it has to do with that narcissist, who's that fucking asshole, who's such a fucking, he was telling me, there's this Asian girl, this really fit Chinese or Asian girl, as soon as I walk in there, she's doing this little tiny, petite Asian lady doing, lifting these huge fucking weights. I'm like, oh my God, that girl is strong, is all I was like, fuck, that girl is really strong. Huge fucking, okay, to each his own, but she was lifting some really powerful weights. And they're playing that song, and I'm like, okay. And then I walk over to the treadmill. I get on the treadmill and all that shit. I do my exercise on the treadmill. And then that's it. But I remember that triggered me into thinking, okay, she was a very fit Asian lady, girl, whatever, young lady. And that's all I thought was like, wow, she's strong and she's fit. That was the first thing that came to mind when I looked at her, because she was right there. That's what I thought. And then I'm not jealous. I wasn't jealous of her. If that's what they're trying to get me to be, I wasn't at all. I was admiring her, if anything, the strength, but I'm not jealous. And then, but I feel like they're targeting me. It's like they're trying to make it look like I'm some pathetic, jealous, old, spinster who's just, no, that's not true. Maybe there's people who have some anger issues, and I do have some of that with all the shit they've done to me and all the crap that I've been going through with that jackass, narcissist, motherfucker, pervert. And I'll tell you what makes me angry and not jealous, and this pisses me off, is that he's got an Asian coworker, supposedly, if he really works at that fucking place or not, which I still don't even know. I don't even care. But he talks about this girl named Jessica, this Chinese girl who he works with at this fucking Saks Fifth Avenue in the shoe department. And apparently he hates her. So he says, right? He says he hates her, but I believe that's bullshit. I believe he's probably slept with her, and I believe he likes her. I believe he says that he hates her, but I believe that's the opposite. I believe he secretly has a crush on her, is what I think. I do. I think he does. And I think I believe he's been intimate with her too, because I remember he was talking about this same girl a couple years ago and he was saying how whenever she first started there, she was like, I don't have anything, and what am I going to do? And, my husband, I'm having all these problems. Apparently, she was just like telling him all these problems that she had. And I think that he probably hooked up with her. I'm pretty sure that they have something going on. Now it's pretty obvious that those two messed around at some point, or she probably sucked his dick. He probably got her to do that because this is what did it to initiate her into the fucking cult that they have there. I'm sure, an Asian girl. And so anyway, yeah, because he acts like he hates her. That's bullshit. He says, no, he doesn't. He likes her. And then he was saying yesterday, he was talking about, he kept calling, he called me, and I was talking to him, because he kept fucking bothering me, so he called me from his work. He loves to call. He calls me from his fucking job and starts gossiping about shit. And he said something about how, he gossips about these people. He's like, well, she and I got into it again the other day because I commented about how fat she looked. And I said, are you pregnant? He asked her if she was pregnant because you look like you've got a big belly there. And I was like, oh my God. I said, that's fucking mean, Lewis. That's so mean of you to do that. How fucking rude are you? That's mean. And apparently he got in trouble for that. But you know what? He's a fucking asshole. He's so, that I would, if I were her and he said that to me, I would have kicked him in the fucking dick and punched his face. I would have kicked his ass right then and there in the fucking Saks Fifth Avenue in front of all the fucking customers. I would have kicked his fucking balls right in the fucking dick. Is what, if I were her, I would have done it to teach him a fucking lesson. He's got a big fucking fat belly. He thinks what he does, what I've noticed about him is he hates anybody. He has this obsession with really skinny, scrawny women, and he punishes people who eat. He hates anybody who's a little bit overweight or not in perfect shape. He punishes people who are not perfect, yet he projects all his fucking insecurities onto anybody and everybody, because look who's talking. He's got a big fucking belly. He's not in the best of shape. He's not all that good looking. But he thinks that because he looked better 20 years ago, that he was thinner, that he's still Mr. I'm fucking arrogant, I can have anybody I want and nobody, that's his mentality. He just treats people like shit because he's projecting. And this is what he does. And so he punishes women. I have a feeling that what happened with his wife, if he's still married or not, this ex-wife, she probably put on a little bit of weight or something, or was not perfect. And so he probably started punishing her about her body and body shaming her. He loves to shame women about their bodies. He's got this thing about shaming women about their bodies. And that's him projecting his own insecurities onto women. That much I can assure you, because I've seen the patterns of how abusive and mean he is about that. And sex-addicted men are like that. They're assholes. They never change. They're narcissistic. They don't care about you as a person. All they do is judge you based on your body, which clearly shows that people like that are toxic and you don't need them in your life, especially when you're trying to heal from any kind of abuse. Men like that are always going to treat you like like shit. I don't care what anybody says, but that's not tolerated. No woman should tolerate that kind of abuse from a fucking man. I don't care if he's your husband, your boyfriend. If all he does is shames you and compares you to celebrities and shit like that, get rid of the motherfucker. He doesn't deserve you. So probably he got her pregnant. He's talking about she looks pregnant. Maybe you got her pregnant, Lewis, you fucking dickhead, fucking sex addict. Huh? Maybe you're the one who got her pregnant since she looks fat, according to you, this Jessica girl that you work with all the time in the shoe department at Saks Fifth Avenue. You're probably the one who got her, you stuck your fucking dick up her and got her pregnant, asshole. Huh. So I'm just saying he's such a jerk. But, I wouldn't be surprised. He's got so many little affairs going on with so many women that it's just disgusting. Like, I don't even want to know anymore. I really don't want to know, but I can figure stuff out with this man because of the way he is. So at the gym today, they had there's a man, when I got on this other machine, there's a man directly behind me on a treadmill in the big main room, and his t-shirt, I looked at it, I just turned around, his t-shirt said, Well, no, at first I noticed he had a big cross on around his neck, okay, right behind me when I was on this elliptical type machine. And then when he leaves, I'm watching him walk by, and his shirt said road trip on the back of it. I'm like, oh my God. Just thinking that how I had a conversation the other day with that fucking narcissist about how going to that Gold's Gym is like going on a road trip every day because of all the packing, all the stuff that I have. It's like going on and I had said that exact word, a road trip, in a conversation on the phone yesterday with that fucking narcissistic fucking control freak Luis fucking Valdez asshole. So I'm telling you, they're monitoring my phones, and that motherfucker is directly involved with the smear campaign. That shit fucking asshole narcissist sex addict jerk Luis Valdez. And I'll say his fucking name because I'm not going to put this on a public video. I'm doing it for myself because he's a fucking asshole and he deserves to get called out for this shit. But, so I just had to talk about that today because it's just constant crap. And so after all that, I canceled the membership at that place. I was like, fuck this. I'm not going to get through this shit anymore. I'm not going there. I canceled my fucking membership at that place today. Just because I'm tired of all the fucking smear campaign, gang stalking. After what I've been through, I'm not going to tolerate that kind of shit from anybody. And plus I don't want to explain myself, but I canceled the membership.